live on the web. Hello, everyone. Welcome for another episode of the Puppet Podcast. I'm Caroline. I'm doing this podcast with a lot of passion because I want to bring more eyes towards puppetry art. And I'm connecting with puppeteers from all over the world. And I'm in this Canadian series. I try to find puppeteers in Canada, and I know we are a lot, but it's a big country, so we are in this big country all over the place. So let's connect with more and more Canadian. But before we go into the interview with the wonderful Ingrid Hansen, I just want to invite everyone. We do this gala, this online gala with the community. We interviewed so much puppeteers. So we invite all the guests that we have on the show, and we invite you, fan of puppet, like all of the fan of the show and all of the puppet lovers. So here is the Eventbrite. We have those kind of tickets to have a little bit of control on the crowd, and we will gather on Zoom, the Zoom platform. So here is the link. You just have to go on Eventbrite and you register because our places are limited. And yes, you will join this big online gala. We have people from all over, like, who will attend. So we will connect from all around, like people from Philippines with people from LA, from all the time zone. We will be all together in this wonderful gala. So I'm so excited about organizing this, and just put some short puppet form. You will see, we will have speech, we will get many talk about puppetry, many encouragement for puppeteers who are still practicing in this weird time that we feel internationally, and how some people jump online, and all of those good stuff that we will talk and put a lot of fun towards puppetry art. So you're all invited to the gala. So here it's the promotion. So and now let's go to the interview. So let's connect in Victoria area. We have the wonderful Ingrid. I hope she's ready. I will bring her in the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, please drum roll for Ingrid Hansen. Hello.
I like your intro. It really pumps me up. I feel ready.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me in this podcast adventure.
Yeah, thanks for wanting to have me. Yeah, Tim Gosley recommended that I get in touch with you.
Yes.
He's such a sweet human being.
Yeah, we had so much fun, and he said, "Oh, you must interview Ingrid. She do this drive-through puppetry experience."
Yeah.
So I want to know more. I want to know a lot. But maybe first, Ingrid, could you introduce yourself to the people who are watching? Maybe they don't know you, or maybe you can say something about your career in puppetry for us.
Okay. I guess I started puppeteering. I started puppeteering on camera about 12 or 13 years ago. I was cast on a kids TV show called Tiga Talk, which is on APTN, Aboriginal People's Television Network. And that was with Tim. So Tim was my first ever puppet coach, teacher, and boot camp style. Tim trained me, and we started. It's why I learned all the kind of Sesame Street style, Muppet style puppetry for that. And then since then, I got my degree in theater. In theater at the University of Victoria, and then I co-founded a theater company called Snafu, and we create and tour shows across the country. And some of those shows have puppetry, and the one we just did is the drive-through show called Epidermis Circus. Yes.
Yeah, I'm so curious about this drive-through experience with puppetry. Like, I know I cannot go to see it, but maybe you can give me some detail about that. How was it to organize this? And
it was, we were back in April when the pandemic first hit. We were writing a grant application, and my co-artistic director of the Snafu, who's her name's Kathleen Greenfield. She was like, you should make this show a drive-in show, like make it a drive-in, like a drive-in movie. And I was like, that's crazy. We're doing it. So so it was her kind of brilliant idea. And luckily this particular show like formatted really well to that kind of drive-in format, because it's a thing I've been playing with since I guess last November, and then a little bit previous to that. But I've been playing with puppeteering in front of the camera, really, with my hands and my face and my side of my butt and stuff like that, and doing really up close camera puppetry and then live feeding it to a projector. So I was creating a stage show where I'd be live feeding the image of all the tiny puppetry and amplifying it, magnifying it on a big projection screen. So the audience gets to see both shows at the same time, kind of the behind the scenes of what I'm doing, and then the big finished kind of live project. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes my eyes is like, I'm French, so sometimes I figure the words and it's a bit longer. But...
Yeah, the words are always longer in French, right?
Yeah, but I can translate. Sometimes I fall in the translation brain to get back into the real moment.
This part and then this part.
Yeah.
This part. Yeah. But phrases are actually often longer in French, no? Yeah. Like I have a friend, an artistic couple, and she's French Canadian, he's Anglophone, and they would sometimes be reading a sign out, like a traffic sign or something, and he'd be like, "Hey, let's go." She's like, "I'm not done reading." He's like, "Why are you still reading?" It's like, the French is longer. Like the French version of the phrase is it's just longer.
Yeah, we have more nuance to express.
Is nuance a French word?
Yeah.
Yeah,
actually.
That's
why. Yeah.
So anyway, it was really lucky for us that the show we happened to be working on at the time was a live feed production show. So we did a live stream of it in May with the support of the National Arts Center. They were doing the National Arts Center and Facebook and Sirius FM and a bunch of got together to give artists grants to do live stream events back in April and May and June. So we did a live stream version through the internet of all the Epidermis Circus puppet show. And then, we just finished the drive-in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's people just sit in them car and they watch. They don't like drive and see a puppet and drive and see another one.
No. So it's like a drive-in movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Movie theaters.
Yeah.
And so we had a parking lot downtown outside of Phillips Brewery. It's this great brewery that really supports a lot of local arts, and so the audience would drive in and park, and then they'd sit in their car and watch. They could see the stage and me making the show live, and then they could see the show on the big screen. Yeah. And we opened up with a boylesque performer, and I had this giant grand robe, like red kind of like vampire queen cape that I entered in, and I went through the different cars and like breathing on their windows, like yeah.
So cool, so immersive at the same time. Like you get into the art and you're in your car in security, but you get the art invade your universe.
Yeah, and it's kind of the neat thing. I didn't realize, I didn't get to watch the show because I was doing it. But when you're watching a show in your car, you're getting a live theater experience because you're in a live place with other people. But you can also, because you're in your car, you can talk to people next to you. You can like go rustle around and grab your snacks, and it's not that same kind of pristine, austere theater environment where there's decorum. So that's kind of really nice, actually.
Yeah.
It's more casual. It's like you bring your living room to the parking lot and you can sit in your pajamas or your Mad Max gear or whatever and eat your hamburger and talk.
That's so perfect. Like drive-in and puppetry and giant screen and live stuff. It's so brilliant. Bravo.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And and I want to tell to the people who are watching, if you have a question for Ingrid, feel free to write it down and I will bring it in the screen, and right from where you are watching. It's always fun to see that we are international.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cool. I want to ask you those deep questions that I always ask all puppeteers. And the first one is the why. Like, what makes the art of puppetry an art that you cherish?
I mean, I think sometimes I just take it for granted because it's something that I've always loved, but I didn't always name it as puppetry.
Yeah.
You know, because as a kid, I would animate my toys in a very realistic way and give them all personalities and different voices. And some kids didn't do that. I think I assumed that all kids did that, but sometimes I would see other kids play and they'd just be like, yeah, like that. Like my guy is winning. Okay, I'm doing this now. They would just move their toy around and like kind of narrate what's happening. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? That's not how you play. Like you like go over here and like interact. I just it's something that's kind of very ingrained in me, and then something I've always loved. And I grew up watching The Muppet Show and Fraggle Rock and Sesame Street and stuff like that. I don't think I ever knew that it could be a career or a profession.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's because I knew that most of the people who worked on all the Henson stuff were men and I wasn't a man.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know if I just didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never aspired to be a puppeteer as a kid. I don't think I knew it was a job.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be a cartoon. I was like, I want to be a cartoon. That's what I want to be. I knew you couldn't do that, but that's what I wanted.
That's funny. That's so funny. But do you have a moment like you feel it's the crush moment, like you saw puppetry and you get something from the art form, or just like, oh, this is sparking or touching me, like special.
Yeah. I mean, we used to have great live theater plays come to our elementary school. And I don't know if I remember any in particular. I think I probably developed a crush on theater before I developed a crush on puppetry, or I identified as an actor before I identified as a puppeteer. Even though I've kind of always been a puppeteer, but I think there was a play that came to our town in BC called what the heck was it? A Million Shakespeare Abridged, or like all the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged. And it was just really, really fast and funny. And the three dorks who were performing it they're like throwing all the props around, and it's this stupid, hilarious show where three actors try to perform all of Shakespeare's plays in like an hour. And so they're not really performing Shakespeare. They're doing this weird, like madcap adventure of pretending to be Hamlet and then throwing the skull over there and then pretending to be the next character, the next and the next. I think I always loved that. Like I fell in love with characters and the character transformations and stuff.
That's so cool. And I want to ask you, because we are inspired by actor, but the field of study of puppeteers is really different from one to another. So I want to know, in your opinion, what would be the best field of study for a puppeteer?
To become a puppeteer.
Yeah. It's an art. It's a deep question.
Yeah, I mean, I come from like a dance training background and then a theater acting background. But some people, they're more like builders who also animate, or voice actors who fell in love with puppetry. I don't think there's any one way, but I do think that there's this the same way there is with singing. Some people are like tone deaf and some people can learn to sing. Some people are born and they're singers and they don't need any training. And then some people can learn to sing, can learn the technique, and some people kind of just are born tone deaf a little bit. They're just like, no matter what, no matter how hard they train, they won't be able to match their ear to his tune. And I think puppetry is kind of the same. you know?
Uh-huh.
Some people are born and they're just like, and some people train and study and learn, and some people just doesn't connect, you know?
True. That's true.
Yeah.
They're just like, I feel imposter. I feel it's something weird to do. But I get you. I totally agree. We observe the same thing. And let's look at the guests, like the people who are watching. I have a
Who's
question
there?
for you. So we have Ethan. I would just bring it right there. So here in the screen, we have Ethan who asked, do you have to support heart weight?
Heart.
Yeah.
Heart's back. What is
Yeah,
this?
because you handled this puppet. That's true. We didn't
Yes.
talk about.
And Heart is here, actually. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
See if I can show you. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Here I am. Here I am. Can you see me?
Yeah. This is your puppet.
A photo of me. I am so big. Do I have to support Heart's weight, or is there some sort of backpack rig? Yeah, there's a backpack rig. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if there wasn't? Oh god. Yeah, there's a backpack rig. So I'm just gonna work with my camera. Oh, we'll see if that works. Yeah, Heart's built on a camping backpack. So like the kind you would take hiking. That was the very base frame, and then they rigged up a big support system there for the head, and there's actually a joint up here that the head attaches to. So the nice thing about the puppet is I could pull my arm out of Heart's head, and Heart's head stays there.
Oh.
So some walk-arounds, you're wearing a big like mascot head on your head and supporting all of its weight on your neck. But Heart is built as a backpack.
That's so cool, because it's important to preserve also our body, and that's great that in the process they think of that too. So
Heart also doesn't have a neck, really. So there's like a big old kind of goldfish shape. So I think that if you needed a puppet that had more of a mobile neck, it would be a lot harder to build a support rig for the head. You know?
Yeah. So yeah,
if I need to turn, I turn my whole body like this. Like Batman. I am like Batman. I do not really turn my head, I turn my whole body. Batman in the rubber suit.
In a big suit. Thank you, Ethan, for this question. That's good to know the under the puppet thing, what's happening. I want to know your definition of a puppet. That's also a tough one. Sometimes you have your own definition, or you describe the art form in your own word. How you name it?
I mean, anything that's not alive that you can animate, but I guess that would include cartoons. I think puppetry is a blend of witchcraft and dance and acting and kind of hand magic. Like there's a kind of technician aspect, but it's all blended together. So there's a weird aspect of puppetry that I don't know if a lot of puppeteers talk about, where part of it is that you're kind of channeling a life force into something that's not alive. And I think there's actually a bit of, I don't know if witchcraft's the formal term, but there's a bit of what I call witchcraft in there.
Yeah. That's cool.
A strange personality into something that's not alive.
That's cool to name it as witchcraft. Like it's something magic. It's something true.
And it comes from somewhere that you can't really control in a way. Like you are kind of channeling it through you into this whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. It's mysterious at the same time. You have your definition with a little bit of spice. So yeah, Ethan is there and say the illusion of life. Yes. Yeah. That's great.
Illusion of life.
Yeah, special. And for you and your career, I always ask this strange question about what you have envisioned for your career, like goals that you say, I want to achieve that as a puppeteer. I want to maybe create that piece.
I've always wanted to tour. I've heard there's amazing puppetry festivals in France, and I would love to tour to Europe. I'd also love to tour anywhere, but I've toured a lot through Canada. I've toured a little bit in the States, and I've toured to Japan with somebody else's company, not my own. But I would love to tour to some of the puppet festivals. Yeah.
Yeah, in Europe, you have a lot of great stuff happening
and in
there.
Quebec as well. I mean, I've been to Castellier, which is such an amazing festival. And, you know, I talked to some of the American puppeteers and they've never heard of Castellier. And you're like, what's wrong with you? How can you, like, it's right there. And it's such a great festival.
Yes, and I think we attract more and more American attention, like Boston, New York area. We start seeing new face coming to the festival. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So yeah, I wish you that. A lot of tour and connection with the European community, let's say.
Yeah. I'd also like to direct more. I got to direct a couple of music videos on the Miss Persona show, which was a Toronto-based show, and it was so fun. I love
And directing puppets, or maybe at large, some.
I mean, both. I mean, this show is both together, like human actors and puppets.
That's cool. That's great. The two. It's funny because Puppeteer is directing his own movement, but I know that we can have a bigger, like you can direct a movement, like a big crowd. That's cool. I want to also know, do you feel puppetry is in an ascension? It's more and more popular in your perception, or how you see the evolution of it?
It seems to me like there's an ascension, that there's definitely a growth and also kind of a reemergence of the kind of nostalgia in Muppet-based puppetry on TV and those kind of shows that the people who are, you know, parents now want to watch with their kids. Because I think there was a bit of a dip in television puppetry anyways in like the 90s with you were seeing a lot more digital animation, a lot more like CGI kind of computer animation, and some really flat animation too. You see a lot of cartoons that are really, really flat and really, it's like, I don't know if it's cheaply animated or what, but you know, if they'll have 3 characters and they're clearly a copy of each other and they all move in unison, there's no individuality between them.
Yeah.
You see the opposite, right, in Pixar and these amazing, stunning animation. But yeah, I think puppetry is on an ascension.
Yeah, we have the ascension, and how is it to be on those kind of mythical project as Sesame Street and like in Sesame Workshop? How did you feel when you start working with this crew?
I mean, the show I was on is called Helpsters. So that was, it was produced by Sesame Workshop, but it's not a Sesame Street show. It's kind of in its own universe. So the nice thing about it is I was coming in and we were creating a new world and new characters and everything. So we didn't necessarily have that legacy that we were that somebody else had created that we were carrying. It was, we were be able to create something new. So that was really, really, really fun. And then the other fun part was that almost everybody on the team knew each other and like had been friends for 20 years kind of thing. And I was the weirdo coming in from Canada being like, hi, everyone. Hello. And sometimes I would do something stupid. I mean, I don't care, but I would do something like, strange or stupid. And I would go, oh, this is totally normal in Canada. It's just because I'm Canadian. No, it's not because I'm Canadian. It's just because I'm a weirdo, But I would blame it on being Canadian. Like, this is totally normal in Canada. We all do this there,
That's so cool to take it large. Like, this big country.
This is a cultural thing that we do. It's part of our identity.
That's perfect.
I mean, we are all a little more, not all, but I would say in Canada in general, there is like, you see a lot of weird comedians come out of Canada. And like, I think there is more of a embracing of the odd and the strange and like just kind of unique personalities in Canada and in our performing arts scene maybe more so than in America, but also.
Yeah, I can, like, we think in Jim Carrey or those kind of like tremendous actors that they just assume the fact that they are special and they promote it like, yeah, let's be special together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, and I always ask the guests if you have something you want to bring to the screen to share with us, and just by the way, we have someone who say hi, Ingrid.
Hi, Shy. Oh my gosh, Shy is an amazing artist / parent / fringe hardcore human being in Winnipeg, and
she have a question for you.
How much upper body work? I can't read it all. What does the rest say? How much upper body work do you do? You're talking like at the gym or like inside the puppet? Like how jacked am I? Like do I lifting like 5 pounds or 50 pounds or?
Yeah, maybe we need some precision, Chai. but maybe
50 pounds in his bicep every night for bed. That's what I do. Yes.
But you like, it's funny because often people must ask, are you strong, like, to carry a big character like this? But
yes.
for you have to be strong. You have to be in shape and just...
Yeah, I'd say the main thing is alignment and core work is really what'll save your butt. That's what'll save your back.
In the back, it's true.
Yeah, in the back. And a big thing I learned performing Heart is that I could perform really well as long as I wasn't stressed, or as soon as you start to be stressed or nervous, everything clamps down and you wear out your body faster, versus when you're relaxed and you're released and like you're aligned, your neck is aligned and everything, you can do a lot. Like I was doing this voice. It was like this, and I was wondering, would I wear out my voice talking like this for a long time? And no, it wasn't a problem at all, because except for one day when I was the very first day, we did a read through of a whole bunch of scripts, and I was really nervous. And so I was doing the voice, but I was doing it really, I was just so excited and so nervous, and I lost my voice the next day.
Wow.
Because I was doing that with all that nervous tension. And so I went, okay, I need to not do that. I need to be chill, relax.
A lot of wisdom in this. Like, don't be stressed. You have to stress hurt. It's
just gets in your way, man. Just get rid of it. Do whatever you need to do. Shake that off, as Tay would say. Yeah.
And we have Murat, who said, like, the friends, she like, he follow the France Portugal like festival, so it's a good we go back at the beginning. But we have more questions from the crowd, so let's have... Oh, this is a big thing here. Yeah, you can read it on your screen. So embracing
the weird makes puppetry really amazing. I love your kinetic energy and spark. Ingrid, speaking of alignment with your work, Kelly Haynes, do you do some sort of Pilates or favorite activity to help you stay strong? Yes, I do. Pilates. I do the pilates, and I do yoga. It is very good.
Yes. Be in shape. So I don't know if you prepare a puppet. We didn't have the time before the interview to maybe check this out. Maybe you have something or a picture you want to show to the camera.
One up here. Hello. I can show you. My puppets are all in my other studio. I'm in my partner's studio right now. He's a painter. I can show you one of his paintings.
That's cool. Yeah, that's so cool. And he's big, eh? He's like
Heart's like the size of a fridge.
That's a good image. It's a fridge. The size.
Yeah, basically. Oh gosh, and all the other puppets in that show they're small. They're little hand puppets. So yay big. And every time we were framing the shot, I'd just be like taking over the whole frame. I cannot be any smaller. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's so cool. And yeah, we have here Etan, another one from Etan. Do you build your own character, or do you build about it?
I mean, I don't build the puppets. Like I didn't build Heart, the actual fur and foam and everything in Heart. The whole team of the first iteration of Heart was built by the Monkey Boys studio. But the character, I mean, the writers have written a script and they have a really strong idea of the character, and you audition for the character and you pitch, your idea of what the character is in the audition, and then it evolves, right? So the Helpsters was amazing because it was very collaborative, and Tim McKeown, the creator, was super collaborative, and we would do table reads of the script. We'd sit down and all read the script, and if we added little jokes or little isms or things, like oftentimes the writing team would take them and add them to the script, and the next time we read it, our weird joke would be in there, and we're like, oh, I made the joke, it is there. So that was a really collaborative process. But when I create characters, I like to think of people I know in my life and in my world who have aspects of that personality. Like I might say, oh, this character is a little bit my third grade teacher so-and-so, and they're also a little bit like the teapot from Beauty and the Beast, and they're also a little bit like that impression I used to do of my sister, or so you pull things and you kind of mix them together. And yeah, that's one thing.
Yes, that's a great advice to think in terms of image and other character when you build something. That's good to do that. And yeah, we have other question here. Let me the last one. Any plan to tour when touring is a thing again? Yeah, or broadcast a new show for those who unwisely choose to live a different province.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to tour again. I want to tour Epidermis Circus. It's like ready as tour, so book me at your theater. That's just ready to hit the road, and I'd love to tour again. Absolutely. Probably it would be 2022.
Yeah, we wish you that. We really wish that we can see each other in person with the show all around. And I want to ask, to conclude, if people, Ingrid, want to see more of your work, want to connect with you, where they should look.
We have a few excerpts of the Epidermis Circus show on YouTube. So it's the handle on YouTube is Snafu Dance, SNAFU Dance. And then we're on Instagram at Snafu Dance. And we have an email list when we're doing live shows. And so you can sign up for that at snafudance.com.
Yes. So cool. So everyone have a look on this. Ingrid, it was so cool to have you on the show. I'm kind of like full of your wisdom and of all of that, like stretch and let's get the core and your voice and the stress going away and inspired by the character. That's so cool. You're so passionate, and I love it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's nice to. I hope we get to meet in human form.
Yeah, in human.
Next Castellier.
Yes, let's wish that everything will get back together. Yeah. So I will have to push you out of the screen, but you can stay in the virtual studio, and we will chat a little. So see you. Bye. And everyone, thank you for watching. And yes, feel free to join us in this gala. We have an online gala. It will be on January 30, and you have to check the time. Depends of your time zone, but it's East at 2, Pacific 11, Europe 5. We will have people from Philippines and Singapore. They will wake up at 3 in the morning to be in the gala. So let's be all together. And for those who are curious about online business, like how we can put more art into the online world, we have those coaching stuff that we do, those programs to help puppeteers have good advice. So have a look on our Patreon. So I put the little banner here. You see the address. And yes, we want a lot of people have success and have the art form all over the world. Oh, I have two banners at the same time. Doom, doom, doom. Here is the address. So Patreon-Puppet Podcast, and you have those things about the coaching program. So everyone, thank you again. And we will have another episode next week. Yeah, we have, the festi Lambe. We will have a short piece of a Lambe theater. So it will be awesome. So yeah, let's remove this banner and have everyone there on January 30. So I wish you all the best. Stay safe and see you next week for another episode of the Puppet Podcast and jingle.